Hi, this is Mariah, also known as Mariah Amazing.
And Yuna, hey.
Hey everyone, you're on Melanie Voices podcast, and if you're listening in, we're going to start right in the smack dab of things because a couple audio clips have been lost, so we do apologize for that. And also,
this is going to be a slightly sensitive topic, so just make sure you guys take care of yourself while listening to this and afterwards. Some of y'all might be able to do it, but if not, just make sure you take care of yourself. So, as you guys know, I was expecting a child. If you've listened to maybe 2 or 3 episodes ago, I announced that I was expecting, and unfortunately, I think 2 Saturdays ago, my water broke early. So my water broke at 16 weeks, or I was 15 weeks at the time, and I had the baby at 16 weeks. It was a boy. I know we were gonna wait till I had the baby to announce, or not to announce, but to find out what the gender of the baby was. I had a little boy. His name is David, and he did not survive. Because my water broke so early, there was no more amniotic fluid, and babies need amniotic fluid to grow, and he didn't have any lungs yet, so he wouldn't have been able to continue to grow. So I had to push little baby David out. So yeah, he didn't survive, of course. I think I said that already enough. I'm kind of uncomfortable a little bit. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I just wanted to come on the show and talk about my miscarriage, just to kind of open up the conversation, because I know a lot of people have come to me since I told everybody, letting me know that they've had miscarriages of their own, and I had no idea. And I know that when you don't speak about something, it's kind of like you're suffering in silence, and when you're silent about something is when it kind of gets to you the most. So I didn't want that to happen. I wanted it to be out there, just so any information that I need can come to me. Anybody who's going through it can come to me, or I can go to them, or just to kind of open up the forum for it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This episode we're going to be talking about little David and the miscarriage, and I'm gonna have my child's father on so he can add his little 2 cents in. And I think we begin with Mariah asking me, do you remember
some offensive things that may have happened since then? People have said some sensitive topics or anything like that have brought up since then, or yeah, it's kind of where the clip begins.
Yeah, so she asked me that, so then I just go into talking about that. So here we go, y'all.
All right. We love you guys.
Love you. Take care.
Bye. Well, don't bye.
Bye. Cool. People do tell me, you're young, so you can try again all the time. Yeah, that's what people say the most. You're young and you can try again. As soon as, actually, before we even had the baby, miscarried, the act of having the baby, I think the midwife and some of the doctors were already coming up with a plan for the next baby to kind of be able to quote unquote save the next baby. So that was kind of iffy for me, having to already be putting this baby behind me, and I hadn't even had the baby yet. So that was kind of tough for me. But I'm pretty okay right now with what people say. I try not to get offended because some people just don't know. We have had episodes about this. Some people just don't know. So I try to not be so sensitive. Have you had that? Have anybody said? I'm talking to Mel, my baby daddy, y'all. Have you had that? Anybody say anything crazy to you?
Not necessarily crazy. Hey guys, I'm the baby daddy, baby daddy Mizo. I don't think anyone has said anything insensitive to me, or done anything that I'm, against. I actually kind of want to give a shout out to everybody for just kind of, being supportive in my network and, showing love, but also, allowing me to have space too, not just bombarding me as soon as they found out the news, or I want to come by and see you, or, blowing my phone up. I really, kind of I respect the fact that people are respecting my space. So I don't think I had anyone do anything like out of line, but I definitely would have spoke on it, you know. So, to answer your question, I don't think so.
Yeah, my family was different as far as giving me the space. My aunt, my mom, my sister and dad flew out here from New Orleans actually to come be with me in the hospital. So that was kind of special to me. So they were different. But like I said, everybody grieves differently. I definitely appreciate them being there, and I needed them to be there for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I needed that extra shoulder, those extra shoulders to kind of help us along.
Yeah, so. Speaking of space, I think Eunice, so like, she's like a giver, so she was like, I know like the first day I was blowing her phone up. I
didn't want to tell nobody.
Crying, oh my God, please ask me your phone. And I called Jalal, he's not asking your phone. He's like, what's going on? I'm like, I can't tell you, but she's not asking your phone. And I was like, okay, man, I need to probably calm the fuck down. And I was like, I think I was even blowing Tamel up. He was like, I'm with Yuna. So I think I was like, okay, you need to chill the fuck out. Once I finally came down, she was like, hey, you can stop by, and sorry I shunned you. I'm like, I'm sorry, I put so much pressure on you to see you right away. But I think that's just her personality. She was like, just, just a giver, and like, is really kind, and so she kind of felt bad that I felt bad. I'm like, I'm feeling bad that you're feeling bad. So I think that it's you kind of just have to go with the flow if they're wanting to. By there, I mean people who have lost somebody close to them. If they're wanting you to kind of keep your distance, then you have to kind of like respect that.
Yeah.
So
Mariah was on it, y'all. She was immediately, where are you? Answer your phone. She sent me like 7 messages in a row. I was like,
I need to chill the fuck out.
But I appreciated it though.
Yeah.
I really did. I just didn't know what kind of place I was gonna be in if you came there, and I just felt it would be best if
You needed some time to like kind of process what would happen.
Yeah.
Like, not process it alone without somebody else being there and having to cater to like how they're like I totally get it now in hindsight. But then I was like answer the phone. So speaking of that, what would you have liked, or what would you have like wanted in that time? Do you think that was met, or do you think there was something that you I would have wanted this or have liked this to happen?
Yeah. Like I said, my family was definitely there. They showed up and showed out, so I definitely appreciated that. I think everybody did what they were supposed to do. I kind of have a expectation of every different person and how they will react to certain situations. So I kind of already knew how you would react. I knew how my parents would react. I knew how Tamel, my baby daddy, Melman, whatever.
Okay.
I knew how everybody would react, so I kind of went into it with that expectation. So I don't over expect anything from someone who I know isn't the call you everyday type of person.
Right.
So yeah, everybody did what they were supposed to do, and I totally appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah,
I think me, although I have my own understanding, and I also feel like everything happens for a reason. Just we didn't really get like a definite cause, like of what exactly happened, throughout the process. So, granted, it's one of those things that is hard to explain, coming from like the doctors and the professionals. But I think it would have been a little better just knowing like this is what happened. So like just to mention what you said earlier. As far as them, kind of mapping out a plan to save the next baby if we were to go that route. But, I felt like, that would have been an answer for them to be able to do that. If we did want to go that route, they would be like, watch out for this because this is what happened the last time. So keep your eye out on this and this, that, and the third. So I would have liked one of those, like a definite cause. But at the same time, I feel like everything happens for a reason, and I feel like I have a pretty good understanding in general why, things happen. So that would have been nice, though, in my opinion,
Yeah.
But everybody did their thing, though,
Yeah.
Like you said, the family, Mariah, your friend, all your friends, my friends, she did hit me up like, did you tell Mariah?
Yeah, he was like, did you tell Mariah what's going on? And I was like, yeah, why? And he was like, she's calling me. And I'm like, I'll text her. I'll text her.
So shout out to, people that really care about us, you gotta keep them around. But yeah, everyone did what they were supposed to. I appreciated that. I wouldn't have asked for nothing more or less except for that.
Yeah. So if we get any information about what happened, I'll share it. Because some people, I think it's important. People get pregnant, and some women may go through it without knowing. So I will release that information if we get any information on as to why it happened, why medically it happened.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's important though that you came on the show and told people what was going on. Because this is what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that's. Well, it will serve a good purpose for everybody who's listening.
Yeah.
Kind of okay, I can talk about this. Not normalize it, but make it something that's a discussion. Because it's not abnormal. You know what I mean?
It's not abnormal at all. A lot more people than you think have had this happen to them.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Which is really sad.
Yeah, and it's people that you don't even know, someone in my family that's close to me told me that they've experienced it, and I was like, I never knew. I've known you my whole life, and I've never known that about you.
Yeah, likewise.
So
I think that's what happened with Gabrielle Union as well. I think she may have 4 miscarriages before she was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and do the surrogate route. And I know I see a lot of people on her post just being so mean and evil. That's not even your baby because you didn't have, and just being so mean. You don't know what she's been through to have a child, and this is what she's always wanted. And for you to tell her that's not her real child, people can be so insensitive sometimes.
Yeah.
So, I'm happy you didn't have to deal with anything like that to that severity of
Not
ignorance.
yet.
Not yet, or ever. Hopefully, because we're into existence right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you won't have to deal with that. But as I said before, you guys, I was not sure exactly what to say.
I can talk about some stuff if you
go ahead.
are kind of.
Before you say that though, I wanted to say in light of the International Women's Day, if there was one person that I could shout out, obviously it would be Yuna, because throughout this whole process, surprisingly, she's really dealt with it gracefully, and I just seen a different strength in you that I've never quite seen, and it's just I really feel like you're a blessing, and I feel like blessings are going to come your way. And, I just really appreciate you for who you are. So shout out to you because, like Mariah was saying, you didn't have to continue with your show. You could have took a lot of time off, but you're giving, people or women a voice who's gone through this. You're speaking on behalf of them, or you're letting them know that, this is something that you don't have to be ashamed of. This is something you don't have to be scared to talk about. This is something that, you're not going through on your own. So I just really think that's mad respectable. And I definitely wanted to shout you out. And I feel like everyone else would feel the same way. You're doing an amazing job with this. You're keeping me strong. And yeah, I love you, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Keep doing your thing,
Let me
girl.
cry, y'all, because I know I'm a fucking cry, baby.
The real talk, I really feel that way. So, shout out to Yuna. She get the crown, and yeah.
Thank you for saying that.
I agree. Ditto.
All right, moving along.
Moving along. Go ahead.
So there are a lot of stuff. There's a lot of things that I didn't know about the after effects of a miscarriage, or even the after effects of having a baby. So on top, if the baby was to survive, on top of having to feed the baby and wake up every 3 hours with the baby and all that kind of stuff, you also have things that you're dealing with your own body. Sorry, fellas. My breast milk came in, so I had to deal with trying to find ways to kind of soothe that. That was one of my breaking points too. Seeing my milk and having to deal with the breast pains and stuff like that, and I don't have a baby to feed. That's kind of hard. So cabbage leaves have been helping us out a lot.
What do you do?
It's sexy.
Anyways,
low key kind of sexy.
Disgusting.
He's
Sorry.
the closest fact.
Well, I'm getting this vegetarian diet, so you know what I'm saying.
My breasts have been really full, like they've felt like rocks over the last week, probably. So you just I do it at night because cabbage stinks. I don't know if you've...
It does.
It stinks.
But it tastes good, though.
It tastes good, yeah. So you just wrap your breast in like you take a leaf and you just put it on your breast. They say to leave your nipple exposed, so I've been doing that, and that's been... it says to help with inflammation, so even if you have inflammation in other body parts, cabbage is supposed to help with that if you wrap it. So just wrap it in that, and then of course put on my bra and go to sleep. And he's like, "You stink!" Like, oh my god.
She's trying to blame the cabbage, y'all.
It's the cabbage, I'm telling you.
It's a cabbage.
I've had a kidney stone, so I've had to deal with that. So like super terrible back pain, stomach pain. Got a hemorrhoid. It's just like, dang, like I can't catch a break. I'm used to dealing with one of these things at a time, but I have to deal with all this stuff on top of dealing with my emotional stuff. It's hard to move around. I'm on like 76 medications.
Shit.
So I'm being a little dramatic. It's not 76, but
it's a lot.
It's a lot. So I actually today forgot to take a lot of different stuff. So it's a lot that you have to deal with your own body, in addition to dealing with your emotions. And if you do have a baby, you have to deal with the child too. So that's something that I didn't know, and now I know. So yeah, I see why you have to take that time off from work to let your body heal.
Listen.
Yeah. I called my work, one of my jobs, and I told him what was going on, and I was like, I'll be out for the rest of the week. And he was like, the rest of the week? And I'm like...
Yeah, nigga. The rest of the week. You better be glad I say month, bitch.
Seriously. She's not being dramatic. I'm dead ass.
Seriously.
Because I work with my body, you know. I have to move around, and I can't. It's hard.
Yeah.
So... Yeah, that was something that I didn't like. I don't know if he was getting clarity or if he was like, what you mean a week? Like, I know that I didn't have like I know my child is no longer alive, but my body still thinks that there is a child that it has to provide for.
Right.
So I'm still going through transition. So fuck you. I'm going to take this time that I need. It might be more weeks now since you said that.
Right, bitch. Out of it.
Yeah.
I'll be back when I'll be back.
So that's something I've been having to deal with. Of course, wanting to know the why. I don't know that I'll ever get that answer. And like I said, some days I'm like, okay, maybe this happened, so it'll strengthen our relationship, or to strengthen me as a person. And some days I'm like, why did you take my baby from me? You know, this is what I've always wanted, and it was like right there in my grasp, and now it's like gone. So there are some days I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, I lose my faith, and I'm like, you know, why or how could you do this to me? But Tamel has been helping me kind of understand better, and not as to why so much this particular situation happened, but why God put you through certain things. And also I posted today that he's told me that, you know, a lot of women in the Bible have dealt with infertility, but they have later birthed nations. Right. So that's been really helpful for me too. I don't know if I'm gonna birth a nation, but
she would though, y'all. She could. This girl, I'm telling you.
I don't know if I'll do that, but that's helped me a lot too, to kind of, you know, keep going and keep faith and keep hope. So yeah, that I think there was something else that I wanted to say too. Do you have anything to add, Tamil?
I mean, yeah, like she said, you know, I feel like scripture has everything, you know, that you go through. It's in there, you know. So like people like Sarah, you know, who went through that. People like Rebecca, people like Rachel, people like Hannah. You know, there's a lot of, you know, strong and like prominent people that came from others that, you know, were barren or infertile, like she said. So that's just something that you know, speaks to you're not going through it alone, and it's not something new. You know, it's been happening. It's always been happening. So, you know, you just gotta have that faith and stay strong, stay close to the Most High, and just trust that, you know, there's plans. You know, you might birth a nation, or you might give birth to kings, you know, queens,
maybe
prophets, you know, rappers, singers, you know, your meal ticket, whatever, you know, you might get you a meal ticket. So just trying to keep her in that headspace, like, you know, don't lose hope, you know, because that's forbidden. You know, you can't lose hope. So yeah.
Yeah. So I'm glad that I'm able to talk about this right now, because like 10 minutes ago I was bawling in the car. So I'm happy I'm able to kind of talk about it. And I just want to thank everybody for reaching out and sharing their stories and saying what they think will help, because sometimes it does help and sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. So I appreciate, you know, everybody being so open and transparent and supportive of us and what we are going through, because a lot of the times the men are overlooked, but he's dealing with this with me. And he had to go back to work today, even though we're in the same place emotionally sometimes, and that's not really fair. Yeah. But I don't know, men. Yeah, it's not equal. The way that men are dealt with children is not equal. Yeah. Which is unfortunate.
I think a lot of companies don't allow men to take off. I know at my old company, I will say that good thing about them, they allowed fathers, even if they were adopting children, to take off 2 months with pay.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. And the women had 6 months off with pay.
That's dope.
Which is very rare.
It's unheard of.
Unheard of. Yeah. So, yeah. So that was nice.
Yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was a reduced pay. I believe it was like 60 or 70% of their salary.
But still,
that's more than 0%.
More than what a lot of people offer.
Exactly. So
yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say right now about
the situation,
about everything. Yeah. Do you have anything else you wanna ask? Don't be afraid.
I don't have nothing to say.
Okay.
I think this, you know, it makes you not take for granted your partner and just the natures of life, like being able to have a child, you know, and like just little things that you would normally take for granted or think that you know would be successful in doing, like, because this was something that I never thought that I would have to go through. You know, I felt like, you know, it would be smoothly, you know, as long as she's healthy, as long as I'm healthy, if we decided to go that route, it would work out. And sometimes it don't work like that, you know. So it's like, I think you just got to keep in mind that you don't know the future. You don't know what the finish line holds, and you also just got to, you know, take into appreciation everything that you have at the moment, because, you know, you lose sight of stuff, and it just kind of you lose yourself when you do that. You know, you really don't have anything to lay on, you know. So I just feel like, you know, don't take for granted your partners. Don't take for granted the things that, you know, you should be able to do, like health and you know, giving birth. Like, do whatever you can to increase your chances of being successful, but also know that no matter what you do, sometimes it's not up to you. You know, you could, you know, plan a pretty picnic, can't predict the weather. So, you know, just do things that'll help increase your success rate, but also don't lose hope when things don't go your way, even if you put in that 110, you know.
Yeah. Word up.
Big words. For real.
Yeah. That's all we got.
And yeah, that's it.
You guys.
That's it. That's all.
That's it.
I'm ready to wrap this up so I can go cry in the car.
No, she's not gonna cry.
I'm just playing, y'all.
No. Ladies, wrap your breast up with cabbage sometimes. It's kind of cute sometimes, like kimchi. If you want to, no, I'm just playing. I'm on a vegan diet. I'm starting to become a vegetarian. She make me want to be vegetarian now. So shout out to cabbage, and shout out to Yuna. You beautiful. And yeah, shout out to everybody that's listening, and, you know, keep hope alive. You are somebody.
You are beautiful.
You are somebody.
But I did have comments from Mariah, and I revolved it around loss and what you can do to be of comfort to those who have lost someone that are close to you. And I got a response from Real Life Lilo, and she says, not forcing how you deal with the loss onto them. Let them heal in their own ways, and just being there for them was one of her responses. It's just Angel _ shout out to Angel. She was in our last episode as the Rose I Grew from Concrete, talking about black women dating particularly. She says, don't tell me, I'll get over it, life goes on, etc.
Yeah.
Don't do that insensitive shit, please. And then I also got one from Claudia_J. Shout out to Claudia. She says, I haven't lost anyone, but I would say just being there, I notice a lot of times people go ghost when loss happens. Mm-hmm. Also, just letting the emotions flow. Grief isn't a linear process, and it comes in waves.
Amen.
And that is that.
Thanks for you guys' suggestions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Just being there for them is kind of what it is. And I even said to Claudia, I was just saying, if you don't even know how to be there, just be like, listen, I really don't know how to be there for you. I don't know how I can be of service to you, so how can I be of service to you right now? Mm-hmm. And just being open to whatever response it is, whether that's like, just back up, or hey, you can come over and visit me for a little bit until I feel a little bit better. Yeah,
one person offered to do laundry.
That's amazing.
I was like, what?
Yeah, let me back my shit up.
Get them drawers over there, because he's doing...
Get that bra over there with the cabbage inside.
Wait, y'all, I went to a job interview today. And
job.
So I was sitting at like a round table, and there was a chair next to me, and I thought it was like a cabbage leaf on the chair. So I was like so embarrassed. I was like, oh my God.
Like tissue, like you left tissue.
But when I went to get it off, it was lettuce, and it had been there for a while. So I was like, okay, like a little relief. But I was like embarrassed because I thought like I brought cabbage with me. So yeah.
Wow. What job was this for? What was his Jimmy?
It's kind of like the back end of helping developmentally disabled children and adults. So just doing, being like a support to the caseworker. So like making sure their paperwork is on point and all that kind of stuff like that. But I was telling Tamara, it was really formal, and I do not thrive in formal interviews. So, but it was through a temp service, so they'll let me know. They'll let the temp service know where I can improve. Okay. So that'll be good to kind of get feedback on.
Look past that. Cause I know in my recent interview, I was like stuttering, and I was like, "Can I take a break?" All right. And then like she was like, "I'll get back to you. Like I have another girl coming in today." I was like, "I know I'm not finna get this shit." Cause I was stuttering. I kept on like, "Give me a second." Like every time she asked a question, and then like 2 hours later, she was like, "Hey, you want the job?" And I was like, I don't know if you got the right number, but I'm going to take this job, bro. Thanks.
Yeah.
Don't change your mind. Bye. I'll be there on Monday. See you later.
No, seriously.
Yeah, so I think that you'll be fine.
We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. But
that's like a great job, though. Was it like a formal environment, though? Because that's different.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was like they have a whole office building. Like a whole...
Do you thrive in those environments? Per se, no. So did you like it? Is on asking.
No, I like the company, and I like the idea of helping the caseworker out, just to kind of get my feet wet back in the field of social work, so I can kind of learn like the computer side of it, like just making sure everything is on point, starting from the bottom kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So I would appreciate the opportunity, but we'll see where things go. Yeah. And also another thing that I wanted to share before we go is that this is actually pretty sad, but like I still have like the pregnancy belly a little bit. So that's been kind of hard. Like sometimes I hold my belly, and sometimes I kind of fight the urge to hold it or like touch it, because I just feel like it's nothing in there anymore. I don't know why. It's just because I was looking down on my stomach, and it's kind of still got a little extra or something to it. So that's something that some people might have to go through, with the loss of a child, or even if you birth your child. Some people go through postpartum, and they're like missing that, having something inside of their body, inside of their womb. So I know that some women go through that too. Yeah. But we're gonna get through this. I don't know why. Usually I would be like under a rock, which I kind of have been, but there's just a little bit of hope that I have, and a little bit of faith that I have that everything's gonna be okay. So I'm just gonna go with that. Yeah. Even though the negative is like overwhelming, that little piece of faith is kind of what's been helping me continue on. And my baby daddy, he been helping me too.
I got you.
All right, y'all ain't
got you.
killing me over here.
It's because we can't do it, so we kind of, been doing it in other ways. We can't have sex right now. Or I'm gonna bleed for 6 weeks too.
Wait, hold on.
Whoa,
Shit.
fam.
This is supposed to be. I totally could have got in here.
No, she
It's all
didn't.
good.
I'm just saying, just letting you know that on top of that, I'm gonna bleed for 6 weeks too.
You can have sex.
So, yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it's cool.
But it's all right.
We're gonna get
we
through
gotta
this.
go closer, so when it is time, it's go time.
Ooh, wait. You gonna get it. It's like I'm just playing.
Ooh, I do not want to. Ooh.
I'm just playing, y'all. Bye.
Bring the cabbage.
Bring the whole cabbage. Bring the whole book. All right, you guys. Thanks for joining us this week. We really love you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks
Hold
for
on a
listening in.
Tamil has a closing thought, guys.
Okay,
Yo,
go ahead.
I do.
Close it out.
I do, but it's I ain't trying to get all churchy on nobody, but
he is.
nah, for real. If you know me, you know me. So
Man.
where it's Pastor Blunt. Pastor Blunt. That's gonna be my church name, Pastor Blunt. Thank you.
Wow.
No, I'm just saying, I'm playing. Ecclesiastes 4 though. This is what has been helping me out. By King Solomon, he wrote them. Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, one of the wisest people to ever live. But it says, Ecclesiastes 4, 1 through 3. It says, I further observed all the oppression that goes on under the sun, the tears of the oppressed, with none to comfort them, and the power of their oppressors, with none to comfort them. Then I accounted those who died long since more fortunate than those who are still living. And happier than either are those who have not yet come into being, and have never witnessed the miseries that go on under the sun. So that scripture just kind of, just helped me go through it because, our little one didn't, had to see all the miseries and all the oppression that goes on and all the Trump this and hate that and, all of that. Like he didn't have to deal with that. Express straight to the Most High, heaven, in its innocence, So that's what keeps me comfortable. And yeah, if that helps anybody else that's going through this or has gone through that, that's what that's why we having these type of discussions. So that's it. I ain't gonna, steal the show or nothing, but y'all had to go on some wise words, man, some real talk. So love y'all, man.
Yeah. Love you guys. Thanks for tuning in this week. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.